Hey, what's going on, guys? Jeff Preventure here from High Gear Automotive in Rochester, New Hampshire. We got a Nissan Titan right here. I don't know, it's an earlier one. I think it's an 04. We did the exhaust manifold gaskets or gasket on the left side, driver's side of this truck a little while ago. Somebody had just done cats. It has aftermarket cats in it. So they did the aftermarket cats in it, and what they had done, it looks like they took the studs and nuts out of the head for the manifold, and they did it so they came apart together. The nut was stuck on the stud, so then the stud came out of the head, which, you know, whatever, that's fine. Not a big deal. Probably make it easier to get the manifold out of there. But the problem is when they put it back together, they reassembled it the same exact way. And what happens is you don't get proper stud engagement and tightness on the manifold. And what happens is the manifold backs out, especially if you're using the aftermarket gasket, which isn't, you know, whatever. It's ideally you'd like to use the sheet metal, you know, stamped steel gasket like the factory uses, but a lot of times those aren't readily available aftermarket. You can get it from the dealer if you want to order one, but it's not too much of a problem using the aftermarket one, so that's what we're using. And I did the other side, driver's side, that one's done, but they had done the passenger side as well, so I knew this was going to be a problem again. And here we are, we're doing it, and let me just kind of show you what's going on here. This is pretty much how they come out. They come apart like this. This particular one is interesting. How far the nut is off the stud. So I don't even think this one was actually ever tight, honestly. Because it was engaged all the way into the head, or pretty far into the head, but that nut is not far enough down, as opposed to this one here. We'll focus. You can see some thread sticking out on this one, but then you look at the stud. You can see that stud wasn't in all the way to the shoulder. There's carbon a couple threads down that shoulder. So, you know, this one wasn't in there properly either, actually. So what you got to do is take these apart, is take the nut off of the stud, install the stud. It's got like a torque setup on there. Install the stud, and then tighten your nuts up on there. And that's the way to properly do that, or else they're just going to back out and loosen up. I'm taking this driver's side one off right now, and I got one left to loosen up, and you can see I haven't even gotten to it yet, but look at the manifold, it's already loose. I haven't even loosened that one up yet, so I have all the other ones out except for this one last one, and this thing's flopping around all over the place right now. So this one was already loose, and you can see the carbon. I can't get up there with my hand to kind of point it out. Can I? So if you look, you can see the carbon right there where this thing was leaking, because all these were loose, and they were backed out, and they were leaking. Just because that was the way that was done. Somebody took it apart, and they just left the nuts on the studs and installed it all together like that, almost like a bolt, and you ended up with a leak. So here we are doing it again. They were all loose. I could get down there with a wrench and just easily spin them right up. They weren't that bad. So that's what we're doing. So, you know, make sure when you do that stuff, make sure, you know, you put the stud in, snug the stud up, you know, somewhat. It doesn't have to be tight. Just, you know, bottom it out in the hole or on the shoulder more, and then put the nuts on and torque it all down. You know, and torque it evenly. Ideally, you want to go center out. and that works fine. So, you know, just make sure you're doing that right, and it'll last a long time. So that's pretty much all I got. I just kind of wanted to show that and throw a thing out there saying, you know, when you're doing that, make sure you put the stud in and then you put the nut on. That's what a stud is. That's why you use it. Put the stud in and then you put the nut on it. So anyway, we'll catch up with you later. See ya.